round knockout. Keep those hands away from me, my friend. Incredible performance.
Okay, we have to pay me after I touch. Without money, I didn't touch nobody.
You told us it was going to be the right hand. You said, you know, I know the left hook's been landing, but my coaches say my right hand is actually better.
Yeah.
Did you plan that you wanted the right hand to be the big punch in this one?
This is my coach's plan. Now I think you understand. I have bombs both my hands. Now you see this.
We absolutely do see that. I know you said it to Dan, but the matchup with Alfie, I love it. Let's take another look at this. We'll get to Alfie here in just a second. The jab also stumbled him.
Yeah, my jab is. My coach said, "You first, my student, who's gonna knocking people out with jab."
The first one.
Yeah, I'm first.
Wow.
Okay, I have to ask you this because, look, you fought for us, years ago, and we saw you in the Bellator cage. Are you doing anything different in training now? The power, it just feels like the speed and the power are a little bit different than they used to be. Have you added something to the training? Because, I mean, you've got knockout power, like you said, in both hands.
When I fought in Bellator, now I understand you can beat a lot of guys if you don't have impressive win. People don't care how you win. You have to knocking people out. And I talk with my friend before this fight. I tell him, hey, after this fight, I wake up like superstar. maybe I'll do this. I don't know.
What will it be like to go home? Kevin Lee's a big name, a famous person. What were the celebrations like when you get home?
I think now my media is much better because Russian people know about Kevin. He was lightweight UFC title contender. You know this big name in MMA. And I beat this guy, and I beat impressive. I knocking him out. And of course, I think now in Russia, I will be most popular, maybe.
So, let's talk about the matchup really quick. What did you see from your opponent, your upcoming opponent, in his semifinal? I mean, Brent Primus, that's a big win too for Alfie. What do you think of him as an opponent?
It was a good fight. I saw in locker room. It's good fight. Alfie is win, but I told before, change opponent. My goal remained the same. Doesn't matter. I'm knocking him out in 2. And I told before, I'm going to keep knocking them out until you love me. And I'll do this.
Do you care? 3 rounds, 5 rounds? Does it matter to you?
Doesn't matter. We can 10 rounds. I will be ready. I will be ready.
I was telling these guys that knocking someone out, that's the best way to win a fight. And absolutely, the people will love you if you keep creating knockout moments like this one.
I hope.
Do you think you're going to have to use your wrestling a little bit more against Ralphie? Ralphie.
I will be ready for all aspect wrestling. If I need, I take him down. We will see. Why not? Maybe next fight I'll show him. Maybe I choke him. I wanna show people I'm universal fighter. I can do everything. Doesn't matter where.
Well,
wrestling.
if there's anyone out there who still doubts your abilities, those people are going away very rapidly. Another impressive performance from Gaji Rabadanov. Go enjoy your win. Thank you for joining us on the post-fight show. Another incredible performance. And I'm telling you, the fighters from Dagestan continue to make their stamp on the mixed martial arts world. Wow, incredible, incredible stuff. Thank you to Gaji Rabadanov. Let's look at these other semifinals. Marceli Alves, man, he put his power, his hands, his technique on display. I thought this was going to be a great fight, and it was. Credit to Jake Hadley. He's very, very tough. But this was one-way traffic, Randy.
Yeah, absolutely. Marceli Alves threw over 300 punches, landed almost 200 of those. I mean, remarkable output. The combinations, the footwork, corralling his opponent, not letting his opponent have anything. It was an amazing performance by Marceli Alves.
Marceli Alves, remember, he came in as an alternate, and he got the last-second replacement against Leandro Eagle. He was a huge underdog, fights his way through that one, and then dominant tonight. And on the other side, Wetzel. He is maybe the largest, like physically largest bantamweight on earth, and he used that size and that power advantage.
Look, and he was still disappointed with it. I spoke to him afterwards in the cage, and he was like, look, you know, I want more exciting performances, but he was tough. I had a really rough weight cut. I felt really rough today. He's been ill all day, apparently. I mean, what he's worked through to get himself into the final has been incredible. And of course, he's got a fresh haircut as well. He went for the
I kind of like the haircut, frankly. Maybe I'm a little biased.
He and Randy have the same barber, but that sets up a really interesting matchup at 135 pounds. I mean, Wetzel is... He'll walk in on fight night after making that weight. He'll walk in 20 pounds heavier than Marcelo Alves will.
Absolutely. You may have to rely on his wrestling as well against Marcelo Alves. I mean, that output, that punch output by Marcelo Alves tonight was ridiculous. If you get that guy in your face, you're going to have to find a way to put him on his back and take some steam out of him for sure.
So there's
and Wetzel has the size to do that.
Yeah.
There's the bantamweight bracket. It'll be Alves Wetzel for a $500,000 World Tournament Championship coming up in August. Kennedy Smith has more.
Guys, I got a chance to talk to Justin Wetzel after his fight, and we all know that he had a really rough cut, and he said that he felt the effects of that in the fight this night. I mean, of course he's proud. He's going to the finals. Who wouldn't be super pumped? But he said that his body just wasn't feeling perfectly right, and he's going to change the way he is doing his camp, getting ready for the finals, because he was happy with the outcome, but he was not happy with the way he performed. He's going to go into it entirely different. Hopefully he won't be those 18 pounds over with just 24 hours before weigh-in. Hopefully we don't need another shaved head.
Kennedy should shave her head.
Oh, that makes sense.
Absolutely not.
All right, women's flyweight semifinals, Liz Carmouche, Elora Donna. Look, Elora Donna came in undefeated. She expected to leave undefeated. Liz Carmouche had other plans and showed her experience in this one.
This was a war. I mean, I think Liz Carmouche expected to kind of have her way, but Elora Donna, tough, durable, she could take a big punch. She never stopped moving forward. She was tricky on the ground as well. She gave Liz all kinds of things to solve. And I think Liz enjoyed the fight because it was an interesting challenge for her. She moves through to the final against a very, very strong grappler. Might be a bit more of a clear game plan that time around.
I don't think Liz expected to have to pick her up and slam her from an armbar position or any of those things. I mean, she definitely made Liz work for that one tonight.
And Kennedy caught up with Liz earlier in the night.
Thanks, Sean. Liz, you've done it. You are going to the PFL World Tournament Finals. What are the emotions right now?
You know, I'm excited. That was a great fight. She came out and surprised me with so much more than I thought she was capable of. So I just feel like I'm that much more ready for the finals because of it.
Next opponent, Jenna Bishop. What's your take on this matchup?
Yeah, you know, Jenna's been in the jiu-jitsu game longer. She's in a black belt longer than I've been training. So I know her ground game is dangerous. I know she's always working on growing. She works with a lot of great people. So I think we're going to put on a great show in the finals.
In that show, what are we going to see? I know you wanted to get a knockout here. We didn't get that. But will we get a knockout then? The Super Moosh? What are we calling?
I think we're going to go for that knockout, TKO or knockout.
Looking forward to it. Congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you.
Sean?
Jenna Bishop, grappling expert. Ekaterina Shakalova, powerful wrestling. And Jenna Bishop on the ground after some wild scrambles, some back and forth in round number one. Bishop is able to advance. She threatened with the calf slicer. She threatened with the knee locks. She gets to the top position and onto the back, submits her way into a finals matchup with Liz Carmouche.
And it almost seems like she's having more fun each time she steps into the cage. I mean, that last fight against Watanabe was an absolute barn burner. And I think because she enjoyed herself so much, she came into this fight with guns blazing as well. And honestly, it was a really, really strong performance all around, striking and grappling.
But Randy, there's just no way someone can win a world championship after getting into MMA in their mid-30s, right? That's not possible. Is it?
No comment. I was 33, almost 34 when I started, so she's definitely setting the pace. I hope she continues to work on her striking, because that's only going to allow her to use her grappling that much more effectively, and she's definitely going to need to be able to protect herself in the striking realm against Liz Carmouche.
So there's your bracket. Jenna Bishop, Liz Carmouche for the $500,000 World Tournament title. And actually, Jenna Bishop caught up with Kennedy as well.
Thanks, Sean. I had to put on the sunglasses because, I'm interviewing Jenna Bishop. Congratulations. Oh, thank you. Amazing win. How does it feel to be finally going to the World Tournament Finals?
I'm so pumped. And just to get the submission, it's like icing on the cake. So, yeah, I'm really excited.
Walk me through that submission, because that was electric.
Yeah, I just knew, I wanted to stay on top. I wanted to, I've been working on, even not taking it back and falling back too much, staying on top so that I can get a better chance to lock up that neck, lock up that submission. And that's what I did. As soon as I felt it slide under her chin, I was like, I'm not letting this go.
I can see the emotion all over your face when you were dancing in the cage. Just tell me how you're feeling right now.
I'm just ecstatic, it's just been an emotional couple of weeks for me, so to get the win, it's just thank God, it was worth it all.
Right, go buy a pair of sunglasses and we will see you in the finals. Congratulations, Sean.
All right, thank you, Kennedy. And of course, Jenna, congratulations. Another great performance from the grappling specialist, Jenna Bishop. All right, we have not yet on the post-fight show heard from our betting expert, Ian Parker. And, well, Ian, the Duck, how'd we quack tonight? How'd you do?
We did pretty quacking good. We were a Shaka-Lobo away from a sweep. Look, the betting game's not easy sometimes. We caught a couple of breaks. I mean, look, the fun part about betting now, too, is you're able to parlay some of these heavy favorites with rounds. Getting someone like Rabadonov and under 2.5 rounds, going from a -900 to a -130, kind of a no-brainer, and he made it look easy. Archie Cole getting over 1.5 rounds, although you guys should have seen me in that third round when he got mounted. I was hiding behind the backdrop, essentially crying, waiting for that to get blown up on Twitter. But otherwise, we had a really great night. Shaka Lobo looked good in round one. The one thing I was hoping is that she wouldn't get her back taken, and that's exactly what happened in round two. Again, I'm glad that they didn't put my reaction on tape for that one. But otherwise, yeah, that was our only blemish with the best bets. We hit our parlay. A lot of fun tonight. Good fights.
Well, before we let you go, give me a quick preview on these finals matchups. Let's start with Gaji and Alfie.
You know what? This is a really, I didn't see this fight coming, and what Alfie Davis did tonight shows me if he can keep this fight on the feet, he's as good as anyone. I mean, there was a couple of questionable things he did that threw him off balance. I mean, that third round, spinning and ending up on his back, he almost gave the fight away. But if he can keep this standing with as good as Gaji has been, he's very creative with his striking. That's going to be a very interesting fight. And I know you guys brought up with Gaji having to wrestle. If he wrestles, he'll be all right. But that's going to be fun.
All right, well, I was going to ask you about all three fights, but you took too long with the first one, so we'll let you go. And we got to send it to Jonathan Coachman and the press conference. Well done tonight to our betting expert, Ian Parker. Coach, and the press pass.
I think for too long, Mike, we have just said, oh, they have a name or they have a 5-fight winning streak and it's all by decision. And I'll go back and look at all these fights for all the different, it's like decision. And so the biggest takeaway for me is the fighters understand I've got to be aggressive because you can still win when you lose, but you can also lose when you win, if you know what I mean. So I think for the PFL too, we realize that bringing a lot of good people, there's what I call levels to this game. And I think you're seeing it on social media with our production. You're seeing we've got a brand new director, producer this year that came from Fox and other networks. There's a reason that it looks a lot better. There's a reason that it is a lot better. So those are my two takeaways.
Last one for me.
Yeah.
I know Gaji closed the show in amazing fashion, but if you dig deeper into what this fight week was for the PFL, for Justin Wetzel specifically, he had a true battle on the scales with the weight cut, and he even told us here backstage that he was compromised tonight. And when you hear that and you see the performance he put on, the message to other fighters is right behind you, one shot at greatness, and I think Justin Wetzel displayed that.
He did. I wish everybody could have seen what he went through. And Mondo did too. They both had a really, really hard weight cut. For Wetzel, it was 18 pounds in 2 days. Now, with that being said, we're hard graders, or I'm a hard grader. And was that an exciting fight tonight? I would say no, if I'm being honest. There was a lot of just laying on top of Mondo. Mondo didn't have a lot of energy also. And so these fighters have got to figure it out, because it's great that they come in and dig deep and win, but I also want to see entertaining fights. Right? You've got to be able to do both. And weight cut's part of the game. So I'll give them all the credit in the world. But between now and August, he's got to figure that out so he doesn't have to cut 18 pounds, and then he doesn't have to look like me, after just the fight. So, but I give him a lot of credit for sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
So, Coach, it's an honor to see you once again, sir.
Good to see you, man.
With this tournament and just the whole presentation of PFL, everything you guys are doing, one of the things that I'm impressed with is that you guys get these guys over.
Yep.
And then they get themselves over.
Yeah.
Is that done by design so you can stand out there?
1,000%. We have a lot of people that work here now that have a WWE background, and I think you can see that. Our digital team is amazing. Almost every one of them worked in the WWE. We have a couple other really important positions here that came from the WWE, and I think sometimes when you're talking about real fighting, fans and people that work in the industry say, well, you can't have a storyline, or you can't create a character, or you can't do that. It's got to be, and I can't stand robots. In golf, I work in golf, and it's the same thing. These guys start when they're young, but you've got to be entertaining. So I think, and what's nice is that with my background and how long I spent in the WWE, a lot of these fighters were fans of mine. So we sit there and we talk, and we can be honest with them. And so they understand going in, if they're not entertaining, they're being honest with themselves when they walk out of the smart cage and are saying, damn, Mondo said, I let the PFL down tonight. He didn't say I let myself down. He said, I let the PFL down. So it's absolutely by design. And the longer we go, because this is kind of like setting the stage for what we want to do. We've got to get the World Tournament done, Champion Series, and then we can really have a roadmap. And then the guys will have a full year. And then we can start to figure out other kinds of programming to really get them over, get them on reality shows, whatever it is. But it's 1,000% intentional, sure.
So with this, you said that you
All right, we'll let Coach keep dealing with the media. We have one more semifinal event. Next Friday, we are in Chicago, Illinois. 3 more weight classes, including the big boys. We'll get things figured out. Middleweights, light heavyweights, and heavyweights. The city of broad shoulders, the Windy City. How about a main event in that one? Middleweight semifinal between Fabian Edwards and Josh Silveira. That's next week.
This is a first-round matchup in the PFL World Tournament middleweight bracket.
Spinning around now, and here's another guillotine.
Very slick transition by Josh Silveira.
Silveira steps over into the mount, offers a flurry from the top position.
Moving on to the semifinal round, Josh Silveira! Representing Birmingham, England, the Assassin!
He's in trouble. He's in big trouble. Fabian Edwards with the finish in the second round.
What a middleweight showcase. That is going to be an absolute battle, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, joining us now on the post-fight show, Josh Silveira. Middleweight Josh. Look, I liked light heavyweight Josh Silveira. I think I like middleweight Josh Silveira even better. The abs and everything, Josh. How you feeling right now?
I feel great, man. It's been a journey going to this new weight class, but I feel good. It's like a new chapter, a new career. I'm 1-0. I'm 1-0 right now.
1-0 with a victory over Mike Shipman to advance to this semifinal. Let's talk about that fight. We've seen your wrestling, we've seen your striking. It was awesome to see the high-level jiu-jitsu you put on display. So I think you could see these highlights with us. Walk me through your perspective of that fight.
Yeah, man, Mike's he's a tough opponent. It was a good get my feet wet in the new weight class against a tough opponent. He brought his toughness, but I had to use my wrestling. I had to do MMA. I feel it's an MMA fight right there, and I don't have a lot of decision wins, so I actually like that one a lot.
How do you feel different as a middleweight? Like, as a fighter, how does your body move differently in this weight class compared to when you were at 205?
Oh, it's night and day. it's night and day. You know, losing 37 to 40 pounds just off my body is a big difference. Like I said, this is refreshing. I feel like a true athlete. You know, if you were fighting for $1 million, you would have fought chubby guys too. But yeah, man, I tell everybody at the gym, and you guys all being my friends tell me I looked good when I actually looked fat every day, but now I look better.
Hey, first of all, there's nothing wrong with being a fat 205, all right? I mean, come on. There's nothing wrong with that. Fabian Edwards, what do you think?
Tough guy, man. You know, comes from a good gym, good fight family. You know, he beat a guy who beat me twice. There's all these on paper. He's the man, you know. But MMA's MMA. I love this. I love the new matchup. Not that I wouldn't want to fight Impa again. I do love this matchup. I think this is good. I think this is great. Great semifinals fight, main event.
So what do you think the game plan is? Josh, you're gonna use your wrestling, put him on his back, use your jits from there, avoid the striking with the long rangy fighter like he is?
Yeah, you know, I'm an MMA guy, man. You know, I come as a grappler, but I'm gonna just look for the finish, look to work, just let the fight develop. Like I said, this new weight class helps me do whatever I want. Versus where I just had to wrestle these big guys because they hit hard. You know, I'll scrap there a little bit too. You know, whatever the fight goes, my things just feel comfortable wherever, man. And I've mimicked Fabian for Johnny, so I know him pretty well.
Okay.
I know him pretty well.
Well, looking forward to that fight. Obviously, stay healthy between now and then. We will see you very soon. Thanks for joining us on the post-fight show, Josh.
I appreciate it. See you guys next week.
Josh Rivera always brings a big crew with him. Always a lot of supporters in the building when he fights. So if you want to be one of those people, go grab your tickets right now.
Chicago, the semifinals of the PFL World Tournament are coming Friday, June 27th.
Oh, big one!
Fabian the Assassin Edwards takes on dangerous finisher Josh Rivera with a trip to the finals on the line. Plus, former light heavyweight world champion Phil Davis takes on rising star Sullivan Cauley.
You're gonna see it this year!
Don't miss your chance to see the action live June 27th at Wintrust Arena in Chicago. Tickets are available now on Ticketmaster.
Little reminder what's coming up on the global scene in the PFL. July 4th, Riyadh, PFL Mina. July 5th, PFL Brussels, our first trip to Belgium. July 19th, Cape Town, for the launch of PFL Africa and the Road to Dubai Champion Series. Download the PFL app if you want to watch those fights domestically and check out the full fight library. Big thanks to Wichita and all the fighters tonight. Beautiful night of fights. For Randy Couture and Dan Hardy, Jonathan Coachman, Kennedy Smith, Greg Hamilton, Ian Parker, and our incredible behind-the-scenes crew, thank you for watching the World Tournament in the Professional Fighters League. I'm Sean O'Connell. Have a great night, everybody.